recently, more than 200 headstones at a Jewish cemetery were vandalized, and while cops continue to investigate who the vandals were, it turns out that a group of Muslim activists got together to raise money for the cemetery. Now, activist Linda Sarsour was the person who started a fundraising website in order to essentially get enough money for the cemetery to help with those who were harmed and all the tombstones that were damaged. And guess what? She wanted to raise about $20,000. They raised way more than that. So Sarsour, a prominent Muslim activist and recently one of 4 principal organizers of the Women's March on Washington, established a fundraising page for the cemetery. Within 3 hours, though, she had surpassed her original goal of raising $20,000 to repair damage to support the cemetery. In fact, in less than a day after launching the fundraiser, they managed to raise $71,000. And so not only are they going to help the cemetery that was attacked, they're also going to help other Jewish organizations throughout the country with this funding. So it's just good news, and I love seeing the community coming together and working with other religious groups in order to protect one another from hate. Like, it's a really good feeling.
Yeah, it's the best of America. So I love what Sarsour said. She said, "We hope to send a united message from the Jewish and Muslim communities." And she talked about how they are united, and that's on the fundraising page that they set up. So, look, a lot of times you see the ugliness of the internet, the trolls and all that stuff. On the other hand, sometimes you see how wonderful the internet can be because it brings us together. And Linda Sarsour was a big proponent of Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders was the first major presidential candidate of my lifetime that talked about Palestinians as if they were human beings and even cared whether they had jobs. Shouldn't we all care about, the well-being of all human beings? But it was like breaking news.
Yeah.
And he's the most successful Jewish presidential candidate in United States history, and backed up by Muslim Americans now. Muslim Americans turning around and helping Jews recover from hate crimes. That's what I love about this country.
Yeah, I feel like stories like this don't get as much attention because they're not as attention grabbing. I think a lot of people would rather focus on all the downsides of society today, all of the hateful stuff that's going on, and it makes you lose sight of how many good people there really are in the country, how many people are willing to fight for those who are disenfranchised or attacked for, their background, their religion, their skin color, whatever it is. I love this. It gives me a little bit of hope, so I hope that, it gives other people hope. Try to focus on the positives because there are good people out there.
Let's put some watchers on the wall. Investigative journalists to run down the Trump administration and the establishment. You can make that happen. tytnetwork.com/go.